Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time zone that you may be in. Do you know what today is? Yes, it's our anniversary. It is when destiny meets purpose. 5th year anniversary. Woohoo! Guess what, y'all? 5 years snuck up on us so freaking fast. Can I tell you how fast it came? It came just like that. We started. When did we start When Destiny Meets Purpose? Well, in August, the idea was we were working on the idea, but while I was driving around Bear Mountain, I got it all in this book here. I put it in our When Destiny Meets Purpose journal, right? So I was driving, delivering mail for People's Bank in like 21 different locations in upstate New York. And I was driving around Bear Mountain. I got it all here written out, right? The earlier part of 2016, I think it was like March, April, May-ish, something like that. And when God said to me, do a conference and name the conference When Destiny Meets Purpose. Of course, many of you may have heard the story, many of you may have not heard the story, but I'll share it with you just so you'll know where we've been and where we are now. And so when God said to me to do a conference, a singles conference for the singles, men and women, ages 18 years old and older, I was driving and I'm saying, wow, a conference When Destiny Meets Purpose. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, okay, I'll do that conference. I'll probably do that conference like next year sometime. And I remember clearly and that God had gave me the instruction to do the conference. But everybody who knows Savanda, me being who I am, guess what? Of course, I would be helping everybody else but myself, right? And so as I'm thinking about this, um, helping everybody else, as I always do, putting everybody else things before mine, and saying, I'll put my stuff on the back burner so I could continue to do what I was doing that year. And I said, oh, I'll just go ahead and I'll plan it out and have it in 2017. That was my plan. That was my goal. Well, God had to give me a wake-up call. And one day I remember just sitting still in August, and God said to me, do what I told you to do. And I'm like, it's August though. How can I plan a conference for October and it's already August? And I never really planned something big like this, like a conference all by myself. Didn't have nobody to help me plan the conference because he gave it to me, right? And I was like, that wouldn't be fair to try to get a whole lot of people, on my team to do something to plan a conference, and I'm not giving them much time. Well, lo and behold, I had to do what God told me to do, and I had to be obedient. So immediately I began to plan our very first conference set for October 2016. In fact, it was Saturday, October the 29th, 2016. I have Lady TK, she's coming in. And so when I set that conference, let's go back here, sorry. When I set that conference, it was 2016, and the Lord said to me that I needed to do it. So, hey, nothing don't go without sweat and tears. And today is so significant to me. October the 23rd, this is the fourth Saturday. So, the Saturdays fall, fourth Saturdays always fall on a different day. Well, can I tell you, because of COVID-19 and all of the things, this day slipped up on me, right? But we are going to have the event and we are going to celebrate, right? So I'm looking at the date, I'm going through my memories, and I'm saying, wow, it's October the 23rd. It's the fourth Saturday. It's When Destiny Meets Purpose anniversary. I'm not going to go out without celebrating our 5 years, even if I have to do it by myself or, do it with Lady TK, have her join or whatever the case may be. So I was like, Lady TK, you got to come on and you got to come in and you got to talk to me a little bit about about the conference and everything. And so Lady TK rise to the occasion. I'm going to bring her on in a minute. She rise to the occasion. And can I tell y'all, like, this lady had been with me from day one. So anyway, going back to what God had told me to do, I'm planning the conference and I'm planning it on my own dime. So it wasn't very many dimes, okay? And so as I'm planning it, I'm calling around. Of course, you need a venue. So I'm calling around different venues, different hotels, and it was going to be expensive. So I was like, I'm doing this by myself. God, you told me to do the conference this year. So I remember being in Hartford, I laid down because I was getting like a headache over this thing. I was stressing. I laid back and I just laid down and I began to pray. And I said to God, I said, now, Lord, if you really want me to do this conference and you gave it to me, you have to open the door for me because I'm just out. I trust you, but I'm out of options right about now. And not even 5 minutes, the Lord laid on my heart to call the former Ramada Inn, because it was no longer Ramada Inn anymore, but I thought it was Ramada Inn in East Hartford. So I called him up. I told the young lady, her name was April. I'll never forget this. I called her up and I told her what I was trying to do, what I needed to do, what I was working with. I didn't have a huge budget and I needed to pull off this conference. Well, immediately she said yes. I went down, I looked at the place, and I really, honestly, I trust God because I didn't really know where the money was going to come from. I know I was still working my 9-to-5 job, and I was trying to save up for the conference, and then we had to get food, and so I couldn't bring in my own food because, hey, it would have been cheaper just to bring in my own food. So I had to use the restaurant that was on site, which was Nolita restaurant at the time, and so I just ordered food from them. They served my guests. And at that very first conference, y'all, it was such a blessing because I was obedient. And not only that, I began to promote the conference. And I got to give shout outs to everybody, right? Because, I told people my vision, what I was doing. I called up a friend now in Virginia. I told her what I was doing. I called one of my best friends here. I told him what I was doing. Then I told my leaders and they were all on board and it was like, yeah, go Savanda, you can do it. You can do it. So I got to make sure, y'all, that I call out everybody's name. So Prophetess Iris from Virginia, she was the person I talked to. My friend here, Conrad, DJ Burt, he was our DJ. I talked to him and Pastor Maurice Pipkin and Lady Taquana Berry Pipkin, right? So I told them what I was going to do. That's all fine, well, and good, right? So now I got the venue. I have the restaurant that's going to be set up. Now, what do you need, Savanda? Because this is my first time. I'm not going to just do this by myself. You need some speakers. So I began to go over with my first lady. I need some men. And my other friend, I call her Sherry by her Facebook name, Marie. I called her, I said, I need some men. I don't know too many single men out there. I need somebody to do a conference. Can y'all refer some people to me? And then the Lord gave me the women. That was easy. That was the easy part, but I didn't really know too many men. So Lady TK recommended this friend of hers, a deacon in her former church, Deacon Gary Lee. And he responded immediately. He was like, yes, I'll be more than happy to do the conference for you. And then Marie, she recommended her friend who was single at the time, Donovan Longmore, who was like a radio DJ and, many things in the community. She said he would be great for the conference. And so then the Lord told me to reach out to, I'm forgetting names now, evangelists. Hughley out of Waterbury. She was in Waterbury at the time. I reached out to her. I knew her for years, and he said, reach out to her. She'll be good for the conference. And then he had me reach out to Sister Juanita Stringer. She wasn't married at the time. She's Juanita Burgess now. And so I reached out to all of them, and I was just so excited. So now I'm putting the conference together. I'm doing all of this. I got all of my people. Then I get to the day of the conference, right? So again, doing this by myself, I have to say, on the day of the conference, I didn't have a dress to wear, right? Too funny. No dress to wear. I'm literally at the day of the conference. I am stressing out because I'm like, I got everything, don't have a dress to wear. Well, what good are your children if you can't use them for something? And so my children, Essence and Shaquille, and Essence's boyfriend at the time, Roger, of course, they came to my rescue. Roger was driving around for me. I said, Lord, let me go to this store and that dress and that shoe be waiting on me. So I drive up the street. This is true, y'all. Drove up the street to Burlington Coat Factory in East Hartford. This red dress was literally in the right price range, was waiting on me. And these black high heel pumps about this high that I knew, wait a minute, can y'all see my finger about this high? Knowing that I really can't walk in those shoes, right? I put them things on, and let me tell you, a sister had her dress, right? And so I said, God, you are so good. So I shoot back up to the conference center. It was it was Hartford Hotel, the former Ramada Inn, Hartford Hotel and Conference Center, right? So I shoot back up there in order to get the conference started. But again, before all of that, you have to have your promotion. You have to have all of these people promoting you. So I got to go where I see, okay, yeah, so I got to remember all of these people, y'all. That's why I got it in the book, so I won't forget anyone. So all of the promotion and everything, y'all, I went on the radio. I went on Anissa Porticelli. She's been interviewing me for years since we started 5 years ago, 104.9 WIHS, right? And so that's out of Middletown. And then I had Lisa Meritek out of Springfield, 90.7 FM, WTCC. She interviewed me. Then I had Marvin Mink, 89.9 WQTQ out of Hartford. These people gave us our first interview. And then our first interview on television was with Pamela Wright, making it happen. And so that was such an awesome thing. When we got to the conference that day, y'all, I tell you, I was pulling in people left and right. Like I said, DJ Burt, he was the DJ for that. And then we had Andrea Mullins. She used to go to First Cathedral. She was a part. She was doing the prayer. I had vendors out there. Then I had Exclusive Line did my banner. Rodney Matthews and this guy named William and Felicia, all of them worked together. I told them the vision about it, and they just went right along with it. And so even through all of that, y'all, I have to tell y'all, that very first conference was blessed. Andrea Mullins was there. Gary Lee, Donovan Longmore, Brenda Hughley, Juanita Stringer, Pastor Maurice, and Lady Taquana Berry Pipkin. Now, let me tell y'all something. I'm going to tell you about, I did have a few vendors, but I'll talk about the vendors. I just want to say thank you, J.V. Harvey, Sam Chang, which was his birthday, and he came on that particular day. And then I had, who else did I have? Oh, YMCA, the downtown YMCA came out. So wait a minute. So I told y'all I was freaking out and why today is so important. I'm gonna bring Lady TK on with me and she could just say hello. Lady TK, greet the people, say hello to them. She's going.
Hello, everyone. How y'all doing?
So we're live and we're live on YouTube. So we're Facebook Live will be watching this later. So okay. I want to say this, Lady TK, because and I hope that you can hear me well.
Yes, I can.
I want to say this. that today is significant and it's very important to me because I was on Facebook and I'm looking over this way to tell you what I was doing on Facebook. I was going down the memories, and today is so important. Today is so important to me. When I went down the memories, I was looking through the memories, and on this day, 5 years ago, I have a picture of Pastor Maurice Pitkin, and I put this in the book. And he preached the sermon that said, "You will finish." And he told me, he called me up. I'll never forget. This was a week before the first conference. And he said, "You will finish what you started." He called me up. We were at New Hope on Granby Street. We was using Pastor Donald Johnson Church at the time. And he was preaching. And he said, "Come on up, Savanda." He called me up and he said to me, "You will finish what you started." And he began to encourage me. Didn't know that I was being discouraged about the conference. It was in another week. I was sweating. And he brought tears to my eyes and said, "You will finish what you started." And his message was already, "Will finish." But when he called it up to me, it sealed the deal to let me know that I could have done what God had called me to do, and being obedient to him and being obedient to God. That turnout at the conference, because of the promotion of the radio station, a lot of people heard it. That was one of my biggest turnout, and you were there. You were there. So I just want you to chime in and just tell people what that first year was like, and then I'm gonna move on to the second year and talk about that, and then I'm going to go to where we are today, and we're just going to chat a little bit. We're not going to stay on too long. Y'all know our conferences last like three hours or more, and we'll just go on and on and on and be talking. But because it's just you and I tonight, I just want to just say happy anniversary. And you know I can go on without taking a breath, so you gotta just break and cut in when you cut in.
No, I just wanted to congratulate you and say happy anniversary to you. It's amazing. You know, they say after that 5th year, that means you're doing something because you're still in existence. And I'm just so, excited because the first conference was such a great success. People came out, people talked about how they were blessed. We had the opportunity to minister and to be transparent and to be honest with the singles. And I'm just grateful that I could be a part of it. You went down that list. I didn't even remember all of those individuals that you brought, but I mean, we had an awesome time, and Destiny Meets Purpose launched, and you just went with it from there. And the ministry has grown, and I know that I'm excited about where it's going for the future, and I could go on and on because I've been at mostly all the events, and I try to be a support because you are a great support to myself and to Pastor, to everyone. You promote, you support, and that's what you do. That's been your since I've known you. You always say support, 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 promote, and that's what it's about. And I'm happy to help you celebrate this 5th year. So congratulations. Just stay persevere. Don't give up, because sometimes in ministry we get tired. We get weary because people don't come out. People don't tap you on the shoulder and say good job, or people don't give you the support that you put out. And sometimes that can be discouraging. But whatever God has given you, you have to see it through. He never told us that it's going to be easy. He never told us that people are going to be there, but they wasn't there with him either. So who are we? But as long as you have the vision and you have the provision, and you can see what God wants you to do for this ministry, then he will give you all the tools. He will get everything that you need to make sure that the ministry matures and that the ministry excels and that the ministry grows. And so I'm here to support you in whatever you do. Amen.
Amen. Amen. And I certainly thank you
Mhm.
on you're the MVP here. I thank you for coming on, and like I said,
Mhm.
at a moment notice. I don't even want to say a last minute, a moment notice. And
Yes.
you've been with this ministry from day one. And you have helped me see it through. I brought you and Pastor on as an advisor. Pastor's still working in the background. He can't make it to all the events, but you have stuck in there with me. And
Mhm.
like I said, you always say, when you see me, you see him. And so I definitely want to
Mhm.
say thank you to Pastor Maurice Pipkin. And everybody knows that Lady TK and Pastor Maurice Pipkin are married, right? And so
Yeah.
he doesn't feel no type of way when she comes to the single event, because he knows that she's supporting me. She is an advisor. She's talking to the singles. Oh my gosh, like countless singles that you have talked to. They love you and Pastor.
Mhm.
In fact, that first event almost turned into like a whole talk show with
Yeah.
just like you guys answering questions, your transparency. And
Yes.
because that we were able to open up to people and allow them to ask you guys questions from that
Mhm.
first event. It was only supposed to be one conference, y'all, and I was only going to do it once a year. I promise you. It wasn't going to turn into a whole ministry. It wasn't going to be anything else except once a year conference. And so after that conference, people kept walking up to me saying, well, can you do another conference and or do another something else for the singles? And I'm thinking to myself, they don't know the hell that I've been through just to put this one conference together by myself. It was like a lot of stress and work. And I was like, no way can I do another conference in within this year. And so, but
Mhm.
in my heart, I knew that the singles, especially Christian singles, because it wasn't many things for us to do. And so
Yes.
the Christian singles were looking for something to do and a safe environment to mix and mingle. And I first
Mhm.
told people, this is not a singles ministry where I'm trying to hook up people, but if you should get hooked up together, then that's fine. But we're coming together, we're celebrating, we're having fun, we're enjoying time out. And this is just an outlet besides the church that you can go to. You can open up and you can say how you feel. You can talk about different issues that you're having as a single, and we totally understand. And so one thing I pride myself on with this particular ministry, When Destiny Meets Purpose, Incorporated, because we are 501c3 recognized by the government,
Mhm.
and we are a nonprofit. Yay. But
Yes.
one thing I wanted to make clear is that this is not a ministry where we are bitter people, but we are better people, and we don't bash men, we don't bash women, we don't degrade the men. And so, especially when we're dealing with relationships, and it's so hard sometimes that people gave up on life. And some of the singles there, some wasn't looking for men, they were just looking for a woman. They were just looking to mix and mingle with other people. And then there were some who really wanted to be with someone. And so we had a lot of women that were coming, and it was like, well, where are the men? We need some testosterone. And so I'll get to that story in a
Mhm.
minute. So what I ended up doing that same year, that very same year, we ended up having our very first fashion show. I don't even know if you remember that. And that was at Taste Buds, Lady TK.
Yes,
Um,
I remember.
it,
Of
it was
course.
we called it When Destiny Meets Purpose, holiday fashion and formal dinner. So it was like a fashion show slash dinner where we all dressed up, and I had a couple participants from our church, they participated. Some of my friends, my supervisor, her daughter and her daughter friends. And it was amazing that we pulled that off, and people showed out to that. And
Yes.
so that was our second event in 2016. And that was within a 3-month span. So I know it was God doing all of this stuff. And then we went on into 2017 and we did bowling events. And then we did more fashion shows. And I'm telling you, we were doing some of everything, Lady TK.
Yes, we were.
And I was excited to bring the singles together. And so I don't know. You will talk about some of you tell them a little bit about some of the fashion shows, because again, we were there. You were there. You were like, you were the announcer. You was at all the rehearsals. Go ahead.
I was an announcer for the fashion show, and it was. I mean, we had some hilarious moments. We had some serious moments. But all in all, we had some awesome like designers. We had models. Listen, nothing was planned. I mean, we did the rehearsals, but some of that stuff wasn't planned. It just, sometimes it just happened. Minister Savanda was very strict with
I was like Joe Jackson, Lady TK. Tell me the truth. I was the woman version of Joe Jackson.
Come on, we gotta keep calm with the people and get it together. But when I tell you, I don't know if they were able to see the pictures, the photo. I mean, absolutely beautiful. They captured some beautiful moments. When I tell you beautiful pieces and garments, and what was the tuxedo place? What was it?
What's my place? Oh my gosh. Wait a minute, I got it in here. Wait a minute, I gotta go and turn the pages,
because when I tell you the tuxedos were just
awesome.
Amazing.
Oh my God, what's the tuxedo place? Now I'm not gonna remember, right? Now that I want to remember it. And I'm friends with him on Facebook. JT. I knew I was gonna remember his name. JT Garmo. Yes.
JT Garmo. Yes. JT Garmo. And I'm telling you, the best tuxedos, very professional, clean cuts, and I mean for up to date. I mean, remember it was like prom season, and when I tell you their pieces, their tuxedos, just I mean, beautiful. And even like the designers that you had, they had some really gorgeous pieces. Super cute. We had to come tirelessly to like rehearse. I mean, over and over. I remember being sick.
Wait.
And still pulling through.
Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you, I'm going to let it go back to you in a minute. But can I tell y'all the dedication of this lady? I'm going to tell you the truth. And I hope she don't mind me putting it out there. Now, about dialysis, do you mind?
Yeah.
Lady TK would come to rehearsal from dialysis.
Yes.
And this lady, she was calm. She was tired, but she was calm. I'm the crazy one. And she would have to calm me down like, okay, you really need to calm down. You're yelling at the people. But I was like, they already know. I'm strict when it comes to this. You got to get it. This got to happen. And she's sitting there so calm and relaxed. And I would never forget this one time that she had just came from dialysis and we were doing a show, this particular show. And I didn't know how sick she was. She didn't even let me know how sick she was until after the show. But this lady had a migraine headache. I mean, that migraine was, I couldn't even see it on her face. But afterwards, she told me how bad her head was hurting. And she said, I could not let you down. We were on 1229 Albany Avenue.
Avenue, yeah.
Everything that could go wrong had went wrong with, oh God.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you the stories. Like the performers, they couldn't perform. We had it was so much. I can't even get into that because that's a personal story. I don't even want to get into that one. But Lady TK knows that the fight, this is not only just for singles, it's for everybody. When Destiny Meets Purpose, when I tell you that we became like a social service agency, Lady TK it will tell you the countless people that we assist and we in the background. Nobody even knows, what we've done. And I'm not even going to say everything that we've done, but I would say, Lady TK, such and such, such and such, pick up the phone. This lady will ride with me. We will just be helping some of everybody, right? And so you never know who they were unless they mention it to themselves, right? But this one particular show, I want to get back to the point. This lady head was hurting so bad, but everybody was doing everything that they wanted to do. Lady TK pushed. And I realized that after that show, I knew she was dedicated to the ministry, but if I never knew that she was dedicated and she never complained, never mumbled. The only thing that she said to me, okay, when the show going to stop? We got to get the show started, because everybody was doing whatever they want.
They wanted to do.
Like it didn't want to be right. And she was like, okay, we're going to have to get started. But I didn't know the poor lady was sick. And then I realized that normally I take her home, but afterwards she knew I had to clean up. So one of the young ladies, I was so worried, I didn't even know where she disappeared to. And she did not want to burden me. She did not want to tell me that she was sick. And she kept it from me the entire show. And I didn't find out about her sickness until after the show. She hit it. She wasn't complaining. Like, I got this banging headache. I got this going on. She wasn't acting miserable like most people do. And this lady, when I tell you, she went in and she announced them people. She announced their outfit. And that particular night, oh God, I'll never forget. I'm telling you the changes that I went through. That last, it's a second to last fashion show. I think it was.
Yeah.
That might have been a second to last. I remember if it was. But I remember I drove down to New York because I had a fashion design Isolicious from New York. And I went down there. I had the models try on some clothes. My car got towed. I mean, I went through everything right before, and then I had to be back to Hartford for the rehearsal. My car is towed, and I'm like getting back to Hartford. Everything that could go wrong was going wrong, right? And so when Lady TK was sick, I didn't know. And I mean, the devil just had his hand going. So anyway, make a long story short, I sent, so I had to drive back to New York. Well, this was the week before the fashion show. All of this stuff happened, or the week of. I think it was the week of. And then I sent Essence boyfriend at the time, Roger, I call him my son. Thank God he drove. I sent him in my car. I said, go pick up Isolicious. And he picked her up from New York, drove her all the way to Hartford. She had all of her garments and everything. And she was, I mean, her line was such a beautiful line. Oh gosh. And so now, beautiful, not only that, Lady TK got a headache. And then can I tell y'all, I have to drive back to New York after the show. And so I drove back to New York to bring Isolicious home because she had to get home to her children. And it's like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. So when I tell you dedication, like, I mean, nothing happens. When you see me now, I'm not working as hard as I used to do in the ministry. 5 years later, a sister is working smarter. And I'm like, I ain't stressing myself out. So Lady TK, you give them some more stuff and some nuggets because we went through some things, honey.
Yes. And when you're working with people, I believe, you have to have patience. And for you, I would say that, you said you're like Joe Jackson, but you're very passionate. and you're like a perfectionist kind of, and so you like to see things right. And I think, what balances it is that I'm more laid back, so it works well together, because you need that person that wants to be like this, and you need the other person to say, okay. And we had a ball. We had the little children. Remember the small
Yes.
children in the fashion show? So we had the little kids, and it was just it did- and we and even in the back getting ready, it was it was crazy. People was rearranging lines, and oh my God, it was so hilarious. But
And
all in all, and when I tell you we know how to pull stuff together, and you
yes.
can't even tell that, what happens behind the scenes. We know because we both want things to go smoothly, and we want to make sure, everything goes well. And so I believe, with the ministry, as long as, you're dedicated and you're
Yes.
committed, because
Yes.
that's dedication. Even
Yes.
when stuff is going wrong, everything that you just said, no matter
Yes.
what, New York, whatever, it's pure dedication and commitment, because we want to see everything through. And so even that day with my head pounding, I said I have to be there, because you always say show up. If you show up, I'm gonna show up. And so you show up for me, and I have to make sure that I show up for you. Not that we're doing tit for tat, but it's about being dependable and having that
Yes.
person that you can lean on, and you can depend on to say, you know what, if I need you, you're there. And
Yes.
so
Well,
it has
we
been a journey. Even I think about Nolita's.
yes.
Um, we done had the DJ. We been on the dance floor with the DJs. We have done for everything, and I mean,
Yes.
and what we do as Christians, we judge, and one thing about it is, listen, we are Christians, but we're still supposed to be able to enjoy life, and enjoy life, with integrity.
Yes.
With integrity, we have, or even with the singles, it has always been integrity. It has always been a good time. It has always been a purpose, to everything, because everything you have done, everything that you do, there is a purpose to it. So I'm
Well,
excited about
I'm
that.
excited too, Lady TK. And I want to say that, I mean, there were very funny moments. I can't even say all of the
Yes.
funny moments, but you have been
Yes.
there to to every one of the funny moments. And so,
Those
okay,
are, you
so
might have to do a blooper thing or
I
something
might
like
have to
that,
do a blooper.
and share that.
Yeah, it is so funny because even
Mhm.
before we got to 2017, because we're gonna move on to 2017. I said I was going to keep us
Yes.
a little short. Gosh, the time is going by
Okay.
fast. We really are
It,
talking, huh?
it is.
This is
Yes.
what we do when destiny meets purpose, right? So
Yes.
let me. So in 2016, our very first, very first fashion show. So
Yes.
um, it was funny because we was at Taste Buds. So my very first fashion show, I had Ziana, I had uh I would call her Tatiana. I forgot how to say her name, but I'll call her T
Uh-huh.
because I always that's my friend's daughter. Then I had Carol, Pam, I had Talia, I had Justice, Keith, and
Mhm.
Shaquille.
Yes,
They were awesome. And
they
them
were.
tuxedos from that one came from oh gosh, I can't even remember his name. He was downtown. Gosh, that one didn't come from JT Gamo. It came
Um,
from
was
Wentworth
it Sam
clothing. See how God
or
always
Wentworth?
bring it back? It was
Okay.
Wentworth clothing. He was like a
Okay.
seamstress, and some the tuxedos and some of the
Mm-hmm.
outfits came from him. Justice was modeling some of his outfit. Minister Talia, she was modeling one of her bridesmaid dress, and so many other people. They were in their outfits, and so
Mm-hmm.
Keith and Shaquille was modeling tuxedos from Wentworth Clothing, and them brothers were sharp. You hear what I'm
Okay.
saying? And
Big shot.
yeah, they were good. So, and then in that very first fashion show, I raffled off my DJ.
Yeah, you did.
I'll never forget that. I raffled
Oh
him
my
off
God.
for a dinner. And so I remember, and I never did it again. I remember going over to him, and I went over to another guy. He was like, "No way." So I told my DJ, I was like, "Do you love me? Do you trust me? I need you to do something for me." And he was like, "Oh God, what is it, Savanda? What is it that you're going to have me do?" And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Worry about it, but just come on up." So I had all of the women, because I was raffling off a tablet. I raffled off uh, one of my books, and I raffled off my DJ for a dinner. And so
Mm-hmm.
I never forget it. I put his
Oh my
name in the
goodness.
raffle, and I remember him, the person that was being picked for him at that particular fashion show. And so that was one of my craziest things that I did during the fashion show. And so
Yes.
to this day, I give kudos to him. I can't live it down because I raffle off my DJ. So I never did it. I might do something like that again, raffle off somebody to dinner, but I sent them off to dinner with whoever name. And the funny thing is, he didn't know which woman that I was going to pick out a hat. I didn't know neither. I forgot. No,
Mm-hmm.
I think you picked the name. I don't know if you picked the name or
Yeah.
Juanita. Somebody picked the name. I think
Yeah.
I had. I think it was you.
Yeah. I think I'll pick the name out of the hat or wherever you had it in.
I
And
had it in
then,
this. I remember I had two bags. I had
yeah.
I had it in a little gift bag. I'll never forget because
Yes.
John and Juanita was at that fashion show, and they were up there helping me do some stuff too. So shout out to
Yeah.
them. They're married now. So
You're
going up to
married.
2017, because I want to get out of here. We did. I came up with a team. Now I need a team to help me plan the events, and so
Yeah.
my team was, of course, you and Pastor. Y'all were already part of the team as advisors. Then I
Uh-huh.
had Retina Smith. We call her Michelle. She was
Yeah.
a volunteer because she couldn't commit like everybody else. Then I had
Mm-hmm.
Melissa Crawford. She was assistant treasurer. I had Conrad. He was my vice president. Cindy Brandon. She was the treasurer, and Faith Barnett as the secretary. That was my team. So my team
Mm-hmm.
helped me plan the rest of the events for 2017, and even all of the bowling events. They showed up. They worked tirelessly. I have to say thank you to that team because that team was there for me. You hear me? I got to take a sip on that one. Sorry, throat getting kind of dry, but they were there for me. And that team, they try to make sure Savanda was on time. They try to make sure I was structured. They know I was crazy. And they was like, they dealt with me and all of that craziness, Lady TK. So what do? We planned, again, all of the bowling events, everything. 2017, October 28th, we did another conference. And this one was held at Taste Buds again. And we did like a little dinner. And on this particular conference, we had Jason White out of San Diego, California. My friend Marie had
Mm-hmm.
flew him in for another event that we were doing. Again, I'm doing all these back-to-back events. And then Dr. Roxy Morris, she was that her last name at the time? No. No, she was Dr. Roxy Irish at the time. Wasn't Morris yet because she wasn't married. She was single. So both of those speakers came. We had a nice little banquet. They were talking. Can y'all believe both of those speakers are married? And if I back up to let you know, the two people that were married from the first conference is Donovan and Juanita. Those two people are married. Then the second conference, the two people that got married was Jason and Roxy. So both of them are married. So that was awesome. That was an awesome conference. We had this young lady, she was doing poetry and everything. And can I tell y'all that the promotion came, Walmart will support us, Stop and Shop, North Banquet Hall, all of these people, we had people supporting us in everything that we did. And just to say, some of our models that was, and I got it right here. Gosh, I that's why I'm in the book now, right? So I want to go through the models and the people that supported us, and then that was that. Again, we going from year 1, 2, and I'm about to go up to the 3rd year in a minute. And so our models again: Essence, Shaquille, Pamela, Carol, Talia, Keith, Tashia. There, a lot of these people have been on multiple things with us, a multiple fashion show. Sakai, Jukai, Rose Sykes, Maureen Atkins, Natalia Liberacci, I can't pronounce her last name. Andre, which is Dre, Justice, Ziana, Tariana, Charlene, Arlene, Jetta, Yvette, we had Kareem, we had oh gosh, what's my other guy name? Do you remember his name? What's Kareem's cousin name? What was his name? I can't even think of his name. I think she on mute right now. But we had Kareem. I can't remember his other cousin's name. And then we had I know we had Dejanay. We had
Ishmael.
I was about to call him Isaac, but he was Ishmael. See, about to call him the wrong name. We had some of everybody there. We had the young people, Amani. We had her mom. We had Sister Kim. I had all of my kids there, just doing the doggone thing. Y'all, I'm going to write all y'all names out and put it on Facebook, but I can't forget you guys that y'all showed up for me. And then we had our designers like Marion, Victoria Griffin Blackford of Chocolate Angel Boutique, out of New Haven, Carlene Lindsay Worrell. And let me tell y'all something about Victoria. She has her own boutique now out of New Haven, her own store. Again, Carlene Lindsay Design. They were actually in West Haven. Then we had Jermika Williams. Some of the outfit that was modeled in that very first fashion show came from the Hadessa Closet Boutique. It was awesome. Shanta Samuels with all of her stuff from Shanta's Vintage Boutique. She was in there. We had Wentworth Clothers. We had some of everybody, all of the vendors. We had Danny Jones, Greg Drayton, Paula Chambers, Tawana Austin, Jennifer Mighty, Kevin Lovejoy, Shelly Haslett, and Velma Walters. And some of the centerpieces that y'all saw, it came from this place in East Windsor. It's called Jenny's Flower. And my friend Beverly, she hooked me up with that. And can I tell y'all, some of our supporters, Traveling Gentlemen's Boutique, they sold into the ministry. They were just so awesome. Tyron Harris and AJ Johnson. My friend Tyron, he's a part of the small business night out. They supported. We had Proud to Be Your Community Bank, Windsor Federal Savings. All of these people support us state to state. Sisterhood, that was Sister Brenda Hughley. They gave me compliments, favorite photo. They will be there taking pictures. Like I said, Jenny's Flowers, all of these people, my friend Gary Rule, all of y'all have supported Minister Donald Pageant. He's Pastor Donald Pageant now. Norris Barbershop. Oh my gosh, the countless people. We had Benji. She supported. She has the Writery Inc. She has her own business. We had the Bible Verse Movement. This young lady out of New York, she would help out Kimmy Thompson. And I tell you, countless people, I just want to go. We had Painting with Purpose, some of the businesses that support Fly Fitness, Sister Aniyango, I always mess up her name. Hopefully she don't kill me for that. Rebirth Services, Cherie Harris. I'm still with her. Faith Barnett, she did the FMB Paralegal. My Connections, Marie. I just can't tell y'all. Oasis. Oh my gosh. Oasis. My son Larry. I call him my son. And Roscoe. Some of the hairstyles that y'all saw me in. I was sitting Roscoe's chair and he will hook a sister up, and he was my hair stylist for a lot of those events. And then Larry took over giving me these cuts, as you can see now, in the color now. Again, DJ Bird, he was doing the music. We had a lot of people who did well wishes, who were there, who always supported. And it was just like a blessing. And the two ministry that really supported was True Life Ministry. They supported me. Prayer and Praise Fellowship. We had other people who would just come and support. I went to Rehoboth and did some work with some of the singles there. I went to and I knew the church name was going to name me. That's why I don't like calling out names. Oh gosh, King's Chapel. Thank you, Holy Spirit. You know the Holy Spirit keep working, Lady TK, telling me these things. So King's Chapel, their singles were a big part of my group, as well as Rehoboth. They all was a part of the group. And so that was the second year when Destiny Meets Purpose. And again, people got married. And y'all know I got to go in here and look at the flyers too. So all right, so the second year, that was it. Then we go into our third year. Our third year was in 2018. That was our third celebration. Third celebration. And I'll never forget when the Lord gave me the topic. It was called Fall into Love, Single Celebration, Mix and Mingle. And we did 2 days. We did the Friday, which was at Nolita, and we did the Saturday, which was at Hometown Buffet, which is no longer there, East Hartford. And then on, and I'm gonna tap this quickly, Lady PK. We'll talk about the October 26th, that Friday night. We had people show up. We had some singles from New Hope Ministry. We had some people drive down from New Haven, and we had some other people. I think they were from like Waterbury. We had people from Meriden, and we all mix and mingle, right? And so I don't know if you remember at Nolita that Friday night. That was a crazy night. So at that one, we had people. We had more females as usual than males. We had a mixture of people. We had some young people. Then we had older people that were there. And at this particular one, this was crazy. This was 2018, right? So one person was in the crowd. I don't know if you remember, saying, "Where's the testosterone? Where's all the men?"
I remember.
And out of all the crazy things I did, this was the second craziest thing I did. Do you remember what I did, Lady TK, at that one? Tell them what I did. I'm gonna let you tell it.
You went over to the bar, because Nolita's have a bar area. So you went over to the bar and you started talking to the different guys, and I don't know if you asked them, were you single, or I don't know what was your pickup line. I'm not sure.
Well, I can tell you. Yeah, my pickup line was, I was saying, "Are you single? you know,
Single.
and then
Yes.
if they answer the question, I would say, oh, I got a room full of women over there.
Women.
Y'all go.
Yes.
You have all of your picks. But I didn't tell you what my pickup line was going to be. I just told you I'm about to go over to the bar. And I remember you going down like this with your head like, oh gosh, she's about to do something
Oh
crazy.
Lord.
So what happened when
Yes.
it came over? You got to tell them what happened when it came over though.
So the men came over and they joined the when Destiny Meets Purpose group, and they sat down, they started looking at the women, and they started like talking to them and stuff. And one of the guys that was at the bar was interested in one of the women that came out to When Destiny Meets Purpose, and they started talking. And I think, didn't they talk the whole night, the
um,
entire night?
Basically, he talked to a set of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So they ended up hooking up that night. And some of the other I know some of the other guys were talking to the women, and they were mixing, mingling and everything. And now you can see, for me, what I picked up, you can see the relief of the women, because now it was some testosterone in the room. And so
Right.
you can see the women, they got a little bit more comfortable, and everybody just, was just talking and having a good time. And the two individuals end up getting married to this day,
Yes.
right? They're married. So,
Yes.
and I don't know if to call names, so I don't call names, but
Well, well,
you
you
could
know,
call
I
names.
call names, so I will call a
Yes,
name.
go ahead.
So, what happened is, this particular person was supposed to be at a meeting, and one of the young ladies that always come from New Haven, she was at the first event, and so she'll try to drive up to all of my events, and she will be inviting her friends. Her name is Jane. Um, and she would invite people to come to my singles event. She will promote me on Facebook. She'll tell people about
Mm-hmm.
the singles event. And so this one particular event, she invited her cousin Shima, and she told her, you
Yes.
got to come to this event. Shima had never been to any of my events. Jane had been to a couple of the events, and um, Shima came, and she was having fun. And I had the banner up. I always say, y'all, I pay a lot of money for this banner, so everybody go ahead and take your pictures. They ain't particularly had to take it with me. They could have just took it. If I put that banner up, y'all go take pictures. They were all taking pictures, the guys that came over. And so, you know me, I'm trying to entertain everybody. So I don't know what the conversations are, because I'm going from table to table to talking to people. But I remember one day being at work, and like you said, I went to the bar, and I got this call from Shima at work, and I thought something had happened. And she said, I just need to talk to you. And I think this was like round about November. Yeah, it was
Mm-hmm.
November, because the event was in October. This is about 2 weeks, 3 weeks into November. And I'll never forget it. And I thought something happened the way she needed to talk to me. And I'm like, oh God, what happened? So I took a break. I signed off my phone, and I went to talk to her. And she said to me, Savanda, do you believe in love at first sight? And I'm like, yeah. She said, I just want to thank you. I'm going to tell you what happened at your event. And she proceeds to tell me what happened at the event. Long story short, she was not supposed to be at my event. She had an important meeting that she had to
Mm-hmm.
go to, and she prayed, and she asked God, should she come to the event? This is her first time attending the event. And God told her to go to Savanda's event. And that's how she showed up at Nolita on a Friday night. Well,
Okay.
the guy that she met name was Brian. And Brian was one of the guys, and his friend, or I think it's his cousin or his friend, they were at the bar. Brian was not supposed to be at the bar at all. His friend convinced him to come to Nolita that night. He wanted to go home, but his friend convinced him to come. And I invited them over, and that's how Brian and Shima met. It was both of their first time. Brian came over. He was talking to all of the women, and it was something about Shima that stuck out to them. And I ain't gonna tell their whole love story because they could tell it themselves. But long story short, they ended up going on a couple of dates and they loved each other. I mean, they loved each other at first sight. They were just going through. And now they celebrate. And I think this year they celebrate their second year of marriage. Now, this is 2018, right? That's the event in 2018. Can I tell y'all, by Christmas of December of that same year, now people say they don't believe in people getting engaged that fast. Can I tell you, they were already engaged by 2018. They were engaged December 2018, and they got married in September 2019, and they're still together to this day. They just celebrated 2 years. So what do you think? I say that was the conference, that last singles event. I started calling it celebrations because a lot of the conferences like church lingo, and a lot of church people wasn't coming and picking it up. So I opened it up, which it was open to everybody, but I exclusively opened up this one especially to any and everybody who want to be a part. Because I said, okay, some of the church people, they falling off. So let me open up and offer it to everybody. And this year was that year that I said, if they don't want it this year, I'm going to shut it down. I'm going to shut down the ministry. I'm not going to do the singles ministry anymore. But how many of you know when God gives you something to do, who are you to quit on what God has given you? They saved my ministry. That testimony let me know that God was still with when destiny meets purpose, Lady TK. And I wanted to quit. I wanted to throw in the towel. But I tell you that I've been doing the ministry off my own dime, right? So that year, can somebody say that year? That year proved to me that when you do what God tells you to do and you be obedient, this was first time, these people first time coming to the event, and they met each other, and now they are married. Now, I did tell y'all that I wasn't there to really hook up people, but if they hook up, then so be it. They are together today. And so if they did not listen to their friends or their cousin or even to God, because Shima prayed about it. And if she wasn't at that event, I'm not going to say she never had met Brian, but the chances of her meeting Brian was slim to none. And so I would say that was one of my greatest moments in when destiny meets purpose, when that couple, when they met and I did the event, and the Lord started teaching me that if I show up, he show up. Don't worry about the supporter. Don't worry about the quantity, worry about the quality. So that took us from that year, right, Lady TK? So that was the year of the conference was Fall into Love. They fell into love and they got married. So that was an awesome conference, right? So let's go back, and I want to go to the next one. The next one was Let's Get Married. That was our theme for that. And that was 2019. Let's Get Married. Well, I don't know who got married that year. 2019. Oh, I said Shima got married that year. The Let's Get Married year. And I think Dr. Roxy and what's his name? Jason. I think around those times, I think Dr. Roxy she might have got married that year. She going on 2 years too. I don't know if she got engaged that year. I think she got engaged in 2019 and then she got married. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, she might have got engaged in 2018, got married 2019 too, because a lot of them was getting married. But within that 2 year span, a lot of people got married. We had that event at Nolita as well. We had a blast, y'all. We had, this event, oh my gosh. Now this event was like a shocker. That was in 2019. We did that, right? And so I had all these people who listened to WIHS. It was like brand new people that I never seen before, like the first conference. They came out to Nolita. We had that little area. I don't know if you remember Richard. He's a white
Yes,
guy.
I do.
Richard, the
I
older white
remember
guy.
Richard. Yep.
Richard was there. Another
Yes.
older white gentleman was there, and we were dancing our butt off. I intertwined some of the other people. A
Yes.
mixture of people were there, and we just had a blast, right? So I'm
Mhm.
speeding up because it's getting into like 10:30, 10:40. This is our conference, what our conferences are like, because we get into talking. So that was the
Yes.
Let's Get Married. And
Mhm.
I don't, like I said, we had fun, we danced, we talked, we enjoyed each other. And Richard was introduced to some people near, and he had,
Mhm.
and now Richard, he's not married yet, but he's in a relationship. So I see him on
Yes.
Facebook. Now, it wasn't no doing on my own because I had tried to hook him up with one of my other friends. That didn't work out. I did talk to him about that. So some of the guys would come to me and say, Savanda, can you recommend a woman to me? And I would do that. I would tell, them, if you want to talk to such and such, you can come through me and
Yes.
I'll tell you if that's a fit for you. So Richard
Mhm.
is in a relationship now. I'm so happy for him. So that was our Let's Get Married. That's 2019. Of course, COVID hit.
Mhm.
So 2020,
Yes.
2020 was, I did 2 days again. The well, actually I did one day. It was three events I did in one day. So that Saturday
Mm.
did that morning.
Okay, I remember. Yes.
Yeah, that morning we did breakfast. And
Mhm.
so again, because of COVID, we were doing breakfast that morning. And then in the afternoon, I said we're going to give back to the community. So the subject
Mhm.
for the breakfast was, what do men want? What do women need? And what do
Mhm.
women want? And what do men need? So we talked a
Mhm.
little bit about that. And then we went out on Barber Street, and I
Yes.
got a couple of the guys in the
Mhm.
community. We were out there and we were passing out sanitizer. We was passing out lunch and
Little
fruits.
goodie bags. Yeah.
Yes, all of the goodie bags we did. And
Mhm.
then I drove up. I didn't tell nobody what the third event was. I said, if you want to go, you come on. I
Mhm.
spent the night at near Foxwood. Excuse me. I'm doing a lot of talking now at Foxwood. So that was our
Mhm.
last event. And then here today, our anniversary. I don't know why I'm choking now. I'm doing too much talking, Lady TK. We're here. We're here today at our anniversary today. And we're here 5 years later. Now, I promise y'all, I do things a little smarter. And again, I want to thank Lady TK for coming on. I'm going to let her have the final remarks and give us some closing remarks. But I do want to tell y'all this. When God tells you to do something, I promise
Yes.
you, He will make provision for the vision. Y'all
Mhm.
just heard us talk about all of those years. This is the sixth
Yes.
event. And
Mhm.
I put it out there. I was going to do the theme 24 carats in the air. You already know who sings that song. What's my guy name? I love him. Oh gosh, what's his name? Shaquille, can you remember his name? 24 carats in the air. Who sings that, Lady TK?
Um, is it
Just is it Justin Bieber? Yeah, no,
Justin Bieber? I don't know.
I think so.
I'm not even gonna guess.
I don't know. I think it's him.
Mhm.
24 carats in the air. I think if that's not him, y'all forgive me because I don't know all the people, right? So I think it's him. But anyway, I am going to do an event. I promise you before the year's out to celebrate the 5th year. It just won't be this month. And it probably will be towards the end of the year because I have so many things going on in November. But Lady TK, just give them some encouraging words, the singles, and talk
Mhm.
to them a little bit for me.
Okay. I just want to basically encourage the singles in this season. You heard the stories that now elder, because during this season she just Minister Savanda was elevated to an elder. So she was ordained as an elder. And even for the singles, you heard about, there was a few singles that um got married and all of that. But in your singleness, just enjoy it. Enjoy being single, enjoy life, enjoy everything that you do, because we know she talked about the pandemic. During this pandemic, so many things has happened. So during this time, we don't know what's going to happen from day to day, but my best encouragement is enjoy each day. Be grateful for each day. Live up each day. Don't have any regrets. You don't have to force no relationship. Just allow things to come, allow things to happen. Don't be in a rush. Don't look at other people. Don't look at social media. Just wait on God. I can give you that first and foremost. Put God first. When we put God first, everything else will fall into place. And single people, enjoy being single. Because I'm going to tell you this, when you become married, that's ministry. You have to now dedicate yourself, not just to yourself, but there is somebody else. You have a partner, you have a spouse, you have somebody else that's in your life. And marriage is ministry. Marriage is compromising. Marriage is commitment. So you singles, just enjoy. And I always tell people, balance is so important. When you balance things, it gives you insight, it gives you foresight. You're not pulled here, you're not pulled there, you're not overwhelmed, because now you're balanced all the way through. And this is my thing that I always say: you put God first. You put, for you single people, yourself, your family, then ministry, church, or if you're not, because everybody is not in ministry. So whatever it is that you're in, you put that third. Fourth, recreation. We always gotta have that recreation. And Minister Savanda, know we go and we do things that we enjoy. Whatever you enjoy doing, do it. Movies, read a book, go out with friends. I mean, go to eat. Whatever your recreation is, please do it. And the last thing is rest. Rest is important, because if we don't get rest, we can't do anything, you know? And so that's my 5 things that I leave with you on tonight: to have a balanced life, and also to enjoy yourself being single. Okay? It's been my pleasure. I thank you for including me in your 5-year anniversary. I celebrate you. Yay, 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 yay.
Woo!
5 years is such a blessing. It means grace. It's grace. It's grace. And be gracious. Be gracious in everything that you do. Continue to stay humble, because humility is all that we need. Humility. Continue to be committed, because commitment shows that I'm not going to give up. I'm going to see this thing through. And integrity says that this represents who I am. I'm not a fly by night. I'm not perfect. I don't have it all together, but I have integrity, because this is my lifestyle. And you have shown that over the years. So God says, now, because you have shown those things, now I'm going to bless you, and I'm going to give you the desires of your heart. And even those times when you felt discouraged, and you felt like people weren't supportive, and you felt like nobody understood, he says, I understood. And that's why I have kept you, and I have kept the ministry. And as long as you, as a woman of God, because that's who you are first, and long as you, as a woman, put that priority first, you don't have to worry about when destiny meets purpose, because when destiny meets purpose will stand. And it will stand in the pandemic, because we're in a pandemic, and I know we're gonna come out of this, but you have shown yourself, because it says show yourself approved, and you have shown yourself approved, and you don't have to worry about what anybody says. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're doing with the vision that has been given unto you, as long as you do that, then you don't have any worries. When destiny meets purpose, it's going to flourish. When destiny meets purpose, it's going to turn into the next. Because what we do is we go up higher. And I always say from realm to dimension. So when destiny meets purpose, now has to turn into something greater and something bigger. And I'm sure God is going to show you your next. And I'm excited. I'm grateful. And you have a village. You have people that truly believe in you, that truly do support you, and truly want to see you excel and be great. Okay. So that's my words to you. That's my encouragement for tonight. And I again thank you for allowing me to come on and celebrate with you for your 5 years.
Amen.
Okay.
And I just really want to say thank you for that. Thank you so
Hmm.
much from the bottom of my heart. I I really do appreciate you. Not too many people know, like I say, you go to bat for the ministry. You're praying not only there with me, but you're praying with me and
Praying.
not praying
Mhm.
on me, PREYING, but you're
Yes.
truly PRAYING. And
Hmm.
praying, make sure that I stay where I need to stay and you keep me grounded and balanced. And we need that. We need people who are going to tell us the truth, even in
Hmm.
the craziest of craziness, in relationships. And, you have seen me through some times and just saying, okay, Minister Savanda, you can do it. And, this is, you talk to me about standard, like you said, and
Hmm.
integrity, especially. And one thing I appreciate about you is no matter what I said, no matter what I did that didn't seem like it was lining up, you never judge me. You never point a
Hmm.
finger at me, but you encourage me to continue on in the ministry and to continue to do the right thing for the ministry. And even if I want to go left, you was like, no, you got to stay right. You got to stay in the right path. You got to do this. You got to do that and the other without beating me over the head. And so I greatly and truly appreciate you. I must say again, thank you to everyone. Now,
Yeah.
I called out a few names and I forgot a few people, but a lot of the venues that I was at, like the North banquet facility, can I tell y'all that Donna and Hopeton and all of those people there on
Hmm.
1229 Albany Avenue, that is a good place to rent for your venue. I got to put a plug in for them because they
Yeah.
have been supportive of When Destiny Meets Purpose, all of our events, everything they have been supportive of. And I got to tell y'all that they've supported us 100%. And I want to say thank you to them. Also, Taste Buds, Sal, and they're no longer there. This guy, I mean, every place that I went, these people support me. When we went to bowling, it used to be the Silver Lane Bowling Alley. I had a young man, he was the owner of the bowling alley, Tony. I mean, we became best of friends. I ain't gonna say best of friends, but good friends enough where he can share with me. I prayed with him and his family. They assisted us so many countless time. And again, Nolita, y'all know I love you. The manager and one of the young men that was there, Anthony, he supported all of my events. And you had the security guard that was there, Diamond, and some of the other people, some of the other security guard that just made sure we were okay. DJ Chaotic, and all of those people, the people at the bar. People was there just really blessing us. And I gotta say thank you so much. And also, I want to say thank you to the parents who supported and helped me with the fashion show, Savoy, and then we had Kim and we had Gina. Their children were in the fashion show, and excuse me, they supported me. Um, Tashia mother. Her son was young at the time. He was still in high school. He's a graduate now. So many of these people have graduated. Even Amani, she was in there. She had her clothing line one time. She's in college now. So a lot of people are doing different things now, but they supported, and a lot of people drove down from New Haven just to be in the fashion show. Arlene and Jetta, she was driving down from the New Britain area. A lot of these people, they just came from surrounding towns just to support me. And again, if I did not call your name, please forgive me. Please forgive me. But I'm going to make a list of the names within the next few weeks. And I'm going to call you guys by name because y'all have been there. And again, I told y'all about favorite photo. There were times where I could not afford to pay for photos. And Margaret Rochelle Hagen's a favorite photo. Y'all look her up. She came and she shot the events for me for free. And you know, I was like, I can't wait till I'm able to pay her. And now she's a paid member of When Destiny Meets Purpose. And also my daughter, I call her my daughter, Lindsay, white daughter. That's my white daughter, of course. She came and she would video for us. She would support, and her boyfriend Dane. He can't wait because he wants to be in the fashion show. So again, y'all, I promise y'all, we are going to do one good event before this year's over. And that'll be our event for 2021 for When Destiny Meets Purpose. Again, I just want to say thank you, Lady TK. Thank you, Pastor Maurice Pipkin. Thank you, Prayer and Praise Fellowship Incorporated. They bought the tickets to most of my events. They will come and support. So I had a great support. And Sister Kim, I have to say this about her. Not only did she help me with the children, she also, one day I had to call her in at a moment's notice, like I called Lady TK. I said, Sister Kim, I need this hall decorated. And I called her and I said, I don't have a vision. She went in, I showed her the hall. She had a vision to decorate the hall just like that. Y'all look her up too. She's a great decorator. I hope she come on with that business that she have, but she know how I get on her. But I just want to say thank you. I don't take nobody for granted. I had people from New London who would drive, Mio and Tiffany. All of those people drove, and that first event that they came to, I think it was in 2018 that they came, or 2019 that came to the event. And can I tell you that they were working that event like they were a part of the team. And when I tell you those people work, the fashion show, I think it was a fashion show I did in 2018 that they came to. And I ended up being a speaker for Mio at one of her events. So a lot of these people, we got connected and we became like family. I'm telling you, Mio Soltis, I think that's how you pronounce her entire name. I'll be trying to get people's name right. But again, I want to say good night to you guys, and or good morning, good afternoon, good evening again, whatever time zone you may be in. We are signing off again. Thank you, Lady TK. I can't thank you enough. And prayfully, y'all stay tuned. Watch us on Facebook. Join the group if you are single. We are going to be doing some great things. And I want y'all to have a blessed evening. And remember, what God has for you is for you. And again, God bless you. This is Savanda and Lady TK. We are signing off for When Destiny Meets Purpose. 5 years. It's our anniversary. God